Hi, thank you for joining me for this review of this Frsky Taranis X-LITE 2.4 GHz ACCST 16 channel radio control transmitter. So always nice to see this come in a box, but unfortunately no carry handle like this nice jumper box, but shouldn't be too difficult to put a handle on this. And if we open this, this is the X-LITE radio control transmitter. So it comes with these gimbal stick protectors, which is very good. And this comes in this ruby red color and also comes in black. The case is a soft shell, and this is just a tray that fits into here. Also good to see this protective foam. And we have a pocket to put things into here too. And we get some adhesive decals or stickers with this. And we get this not so good quality instruction manual just on a piece of paper that is fairly basic. But this is the star of the show, and it does really have a good feel to it. So obviously a game controller type concept, may not be for everyone. So if you see a radio controller that says ACCST, this basically means it's an advanced continuous channel shifting technology. Basically means it does frequency hopper over the entire 2.4 GHz band for best range and reliability. This has Hall sensor gimbals, which are nice and very smooth and feel good. On top here we have our switches, so two little two-way switches and two three-way switches, and also two rockers that don't click into the center but do have a little ridge on top here to let you feel when you are in the center, which is good. Here we have our functions buttons. This is actually a little joystick. I'll go into how this works shortly. And then on the back here we've got this to fit an external RF module. So this has an inbuilt RF module and can take up to 60 models, and it also has an SD card slot over here to put an SD card in to add more models if required. We also have this micro USB port, the smart port here, and this is a port for a headphone jack. And you can also get an adapter to fit a bigger external RF module on, and here is a picture of this. And I'll put a link in the description too. This unfortunately doesn't have a receptacle to hook a neck strap onto, but you can also get an attachment that can slide into here too. And here is a picture of this. So that you can attach a neck strap, which to me is handy because, you know, if I need two hands to do something, I don't have to put this down and then go and pick it up again. And then also you'll notice that both these sticks are spring-loaded. So you will need to select whether you want to use for mode 1 and mode 2. And behind here, we've got these 2 holes. So if you want mode 2, you then need to adjust the tension or remove the spring loading, and you can adjust the tension here. Now basically my understanding is that we should have a long red screw here and a short yellow screw here, but as you can see mine has come with only a screw in here and a screw in there, and these screws are hex screws. So basically if I want to adjust mode 2, it looks as though I should be able to remove this screw and put it in here. But let me just show you what will happen now if I adjust the tension of this. So at the moment this left lever is spring loaded. If I tighten it, it's no longer spring loaded. Okay, this is a bit tight, but the beauty of this is that it's easy just to adjust it for the tension that you want without having to disassemble it, because with a lot of these radio controllers you actually have to disassemble it to do it. So this is a very good design in that respect as far as I'm concerned. Now this takes 2 18,500 lithium-ion batteries like this, which are actually not too easy to find. And this basically means these are 18 millimeters high and 500 millimeters long, which is not a common size, and it also has this flat top. But these are available from Banggood now, and I'll put a link in the description for this too. And these fit in over here. And then this just locks back on there. Take this one off here. Put one in here. Make sure we got the positive on the correct side, upwards. And slot it onto there. So if you do get this, make sure you order your batteries with it too, because you'll only end up being disappointed if you get it and find that it doesn't come with these batteries. And you also need a compatible charger to be able to charge these type of batteries too. So this is to charge a single battery, but you also get one like this that can charge 2 batteries at the same time, and I'll put a link in the description for this too. Now it also comes with these little plugs. So once you've finished making the adjustments, these just, you can fit this on so you don't have these holes at the back here. And I see it actually does come with another long screw. So this is good. I can then put the long screw in to this too. You also get a little bit of shrink tubing, and this is if you want to put it onto these switches and just heat it up to shrink it so it sticks on. Now this should also be able to link wirelessly to other Frsky radios for training, but you do require another component to be able to do this. And one can also use an app called Frsky Freelink to monitor telemetry and configure receivers. This also has haptic vibration and voice and sound warnings. Super low latency, less than 20 milliseconds and the lowest at 12 milliseconds. Now these sticks do feel a little bit different. So if we, for example, look at this Taranis X-LITE, it does have a much longer reach and feel to it. But this should be very nice for whoops, because to be honest, with the X-LITE it does feel a little bit strange trying to fly a whoop with such a big radio controller and sticks. But there should be no reason why you can't fly a big craft with this either if you get used to it. Now you can also get shorter or longer thumb screws that just screw on and screw off, and these actually come together with the adapter that I showed you earlier. But these feel comfortable for me. You know, they're not very sharp and good. I fly with my thumbs and I think I can get very used to this. Maybe the shorter ones might be a little bit better, but I'll see how it goes with this. But if you fly crab style, I'm not quite sure. Don't feel too comfortable holding this securely. And if we also have a look at this iRange iX8 radio controller, also this sort of game style form factor, these gimbal sticks feel very smooth as well and nice, and this also does have a good feel, but I really prefer the feel of this, to be honest. It does feel good. And the difference between this though is that this comes with deviation software and this comes with the OpenTX software, which I find more user-friendly and much easier to use than the deviation software. The Taranis X-LITE also comes with open source software, and if we look at this next to this Jumper T12 Plus, that comes with the OpenTX software as well. This also has Hall sensor gimbals and a very nice feel to it. So it'll be interesting to see how these two feel by comparison. So here we've got a 128 by 64 millimeter LCD, powered on by pressing here, powers up, and we can see the LCD screen here. So this micro USB port can be used to plug in to a computer for playing on a simulator too, which is very good. And the external RF modules for this include the R9M light, the MPM light, and is also good for crossfire and external antennas. Have a look here, top here, if I can get this out. We've got a RP SMA antenna connector to plug an external antenna onto too. We go back to the display here. Now this joystick, you press down and center for confirm. This little button here is the cancel button. And this here is to actually trim the right stick, which is the by default. And if you want to trim the left stick here, we actually press this button over here to the right of the joystick, and we can then trim the left stick using these trim buttons here. So this joystick now, if we press and hold it left, we enter into radio setup. And here we can see you can change your settings. But importantly, make sure that you have your setting on to the mode you prefer. So here's TAER, throttle, aileron, elevator and rudder enabled. Go out of it here. If we give a long press to the right, here's the model setup. Press down to select, put in your model name and your various model settings here. Press the joystick up, you can get statistics. And if we pull the joystick down here, we can get telemetry. So I'm not going to go into setting up a model now. There's a lot of videos on how to do this in OpenTX. So if you're used to OpenTX, it's very much the same. And if this is going to be new for you, then it's really a different issue doing the model setup. The weight of this is 376 grams with the battery. And I am really quite impressed with the feel of this. It's like a rubber, and although this is a hard plastic, this has got a good finish on it and feel to it too. It's not a soft material, but almost does feel like a soft velvet type of material. And I think I could get used to this quite nicely and quite easily, particularly flying little whoops. Some nice little innovations, sadly a few little omissions, but the fact that you can get an adapter and use bigger external modules and crossfire, to me, is a big advantage. So, you know, although a different form factor to our Taranis, to the jumper, and not so far off the iRange i8X, I do find this innovative, and I'll be curious to see what models can possibly come out next to improve upon this, and I'm really looking forward to using this. So please subscribe, like, comment and share if you like my videos.